This vlog will be 2 weeks in one, for the last week of May and the first week of June. The reason for that is I did actually shoot a video last week, but I managed to not save it, or I lost the video. So lesson learned. This week I am using a program that will save it automatically. So I must have just not hit a button last week. So I lost that one. So we're going to cover 2 weeks in one. So there is extra good content here. And I've got my little notes just so I don't forget to tell you something. A couple websites I was checking out that I want to share about. Well, and these aren't new to me, but I was using them, so they come up with something to share. Is 23andme.com, and that's the number 23andme.com, and I'll include links in the article. And it is a site where you can do get a genetic test done for yourself, and then that gives you some information you can use for health purposes, which is why I initially did the genetic test. But then you can also find relatives, and find people you're related to and learn stuff about your ancestors. And that ended up being really cool, and that is what came up for me this last week. Is I had connected to a lady who was probably like a fourth cousin or something on there, and she and I had actually shared my Ancestry.com genealogy with her, mostly from all the hard work my mother did. I inherited all the genealogy I have from my mother, and then I've extended a little bit, through Ancestry.com. And so anyway, so this other lady who found me on 23andme.com, and I kind of shared our information, and we found, I believe it's my great grandfather was a brother to her great-great-grandfather. So you know what, that's just cool. It's a neat way to find that information, and it'll tell you what percentage Neanderthal you are, and kind of where your family came from. And so mine was pretty much what I expected from what I know of my ancestry, right, from people, as I'm over 50% Norwegian, and a number of other things sprinkled in. So the information on 23andme.com back that up, and then it also showed it really is Northern Europe is where all my family came from, except for one tiny little 0.01% of somebody from Sardinia. So that was cool. But it was interesting. So it was just kind of interesting information. So you can check that out. And then genealogy stuff, I use Ancestry.com. And when you pay for that, which I do off and on, you can really extend and find more information about your ancestors very quickly by, matching up to the records, the census records, birth and death, church records, and then other people's maps. It's really where I've been able to extend a lot of information, is looking at their genealogy record and then filling in places. So it's maybe I have my ancestor's name, but I didn't have their parents, or I didn't have their siblings, and I've been able to fill in a lot of that information, which has been fun. So those two to check out. The other website related to books, which will lead into our book section, is BookBub.com. And I had seen a couple images for this on Pinterest, but I hadn't checked it out until a friend recommended it to me recently. And you can go on there and tell them, you can connect to your Amazon library so it sees what books you're interested in, and then you can put in a list of authors as well, and then each day it will send you a list of inexpensive or free books that you can get that kind of match your interests. So I've been doing that for a couple weeks now, and that's kind of cool, especially if you're kind of running out of books or you just want to explore, do some more exploring. Now, for me, it's recommending, I do like to, in my free time for fun, read a lot of romance books, and it's recommending a whole range of those. Some are definitely not as, okay, overall, from the books I've chosen to read on there, the quality is not necessarily as good as I would be finding otherwise in the books. And I mean, books are always hit and miss, right? You're trying to get a recommendation somewhere, but just picking on there and picking a topic I like, sometimes I'm not having ones I like. Some are really good, many were not as great. And they're really short, quick, easy reads. So check it out, and you can keep tweaking your settings, right, to find more of the topics you like and get more of the book recommendations you like. Of course, I was mostly trying to get free books rather than pay a bunch of money for them. But check out bookbub.com to find more books. And along that, on books, a couple books that I've read in the last few weeks that I do want to recommend are The Charisma Myth. And that book was really interesting, even beyond just the idea of like becoming more charismatic, right? It had a lot of good exercises, practical exercises you could do to build confidence, to let go of issues, and, you know, just to be happier, really. And I really enjoyed it. And that book was written a while ago, but it's very good. So I highly recommend The Charisma Myth. And the other one I listened to that I want to recommend is Make It Stick. And then this book is about learning and how to learn better yourself, how to, if you're teaching, to get information across better so that it will be remembered better by your students. I picked up a lot of great tips from this, and it's definitely a book I want my husband to read since he is a teacher, and some of the things I see he's doing or have been changes he's recently made, and some of the things I think, you know, he could definitely maybe try out as well in his classroom to get better retention with his students. So a couple other big noisy truck, a couple other things that happened that I want to go over is the last week of May we went camping, which I mentioned in my last vlog, for Memorial Day. It ended up our friends couldn't make it because her grandmother wasn't doing well and has passed on since. So we went up. It was beautiful. It sprinkled on us some, and it rained during the night. And then the next day it was nice, but it was really interesting. Where we were, it was sunny and pretty nice, partly cloudy, and right around us on both sides there were thunderstorms. And I mean, just big, heavy, ugly thunderstorms. And we had pondered whether we wanted to go camping because there'd been a lot of rain, and we were pretty sure there was going to be rain, but we decided to try it anyway. So we did pretty well throughout the day on Saturday, and wind came up kind of quick and heavy at one point. We got in the car for a couple minutes, and then it cleared out. And then we were out for a while, but the wind really kind of kept up, and after a couple hours, we decided we were able to look and be like, what's the weather? And the wind was not going anywhere anytime soon, so we packed it up and came home, threw it in the camping towels, because all we had was the car and the tent. So we didn't really have shelter or places to hang out. This is very primitive camping, no facilities at all. So we came home. But we had a really nice weekend anyway once we got back, and on Memorial Day we actually did end up hanging out with the friends we were going to go camping with, and got to have our camping sangria, which I had found on Pinterest. I really liked it, and I will share the information and the recipe with you in the article, so look for that. And camping was good. I like camping, so we will definitely get some more in this summer. So if I have some other good camping tips, I'll share them. Oh, so also school got out for the kids. We had graduation day for my oldest stepson, and then school ended for my husband and for the boys. So they are all home doing their usual thing. We're working on getting the graduate to get a job, right? Gotta start working and moving on to the next steps. And I also did my KonMari clothing purge, and I have already made that video public and available, but I will link to it if you haven't seen it so you can check it out. I threw all of my clothing on the bed and got it all out in one place, went through each and every piece, and I am really happy with what's left. And it was a good experience. So I'm looking forward to doing the next steps. Books, documents, miscellaneous. It's probably going to take me a while because June is pretty busy for me, and I don't know that I'm going to have a block of time to devote to that until July. Or June is busy, hopefully in July. Other than that, audio programs I wanted to share. I listen to a lot of books. I listen to a lot of audio programs, and lately I've been, just in the last week or two, I've been listening to programs and not books. But one of the things I love to do while I'm doing this is to speed them up so I can get through more material in a quicker amount of time. And I listen while I drive, I listen while I work, I listen a lot. And so I speed up. When I originally started doing this, I started at like 1.25 times and then kind of slowly went up. Now, mostly I listen to everything at double speed. Unless it's a book I really want to savor, and then I can maybe go down to 1.5. But it's really hard for me to listen at the regular pace now. It just seems so slow. So it's funny. Start small, go up. A couple programs you can do this with if you have your information, your books in iTunes. If you have it as an audiobook, then on like the mobile iTunes app, you can speed it up to 1.5 or double time. You know, it'll be in the bottom right corner, I believe, and you just press it and change the speed. Other ways you can speed it up is there's a program, eNounce. It has this MySpeed app, and you can use that to speed up when you are on your computer. So on the web or, you know, something local on your hard drive, you can speed up video, like I speed up YouTube videos or audio programs, really helpful. And as an app on your phone, you can also speed up using Swift is the name of the app. And I will include a link to all of these so you can find them. Easy to use, you know, just takes a little while to get used to these, and then you're speeding things up and it's great. I'm laughing at myself. I need to slow down sometimes. I try to not. I notice like if I listen to things all day, it's kind of a little overwhelming. A little bit gets to be a little bit too much for the brain. So it's good to take a break sometimes. And, I tend to be big on multitasking, even though I'm trying to do less of that these days, because it's probably not necessarily that great for you. Personal challenge. So this week, or first week of June, a lot of what I've been doing, I've had some work drama going on. So I have been using my Faster EFT to let go of that work drama and whatever buttons it's triggering for me, right, to let that go. And it's really interesting to see what comes up, because your brain will surface different ideas and different things that it's related to. So I've been doing a lot of work with that. I also spent, we had a recent full moon, and I spent an evening with a friend doing a releasing thing that she found, where we would write things we wanted to release on a little piece of paper, or throw it in the fire, and, you know, do some different things. And that was really fun. It was a beautiful night for it. Didn't rain on us. And it was a fun time with a friend. So I'll include some information about that too, if that's something that you want to check out. Oh, and my clothing purge from KonMari actually inspired, or helped inspire, my husband to have the boys do their own clothing purge. So, as well as my purge inspiring it, we had them clean their room, and they said they couldn't put their clothes away because there was too much clothes in the drawers. So it's like, all right, time for a clothing purge. So got rid of a fair amount of their stuff. My husband handled all that while I was at work one day, which was great. And so they have much more stuff cleared out of the closet, and I know he plans to continue that with them and going through their books and toys and other things, you know, especially as our older son, as when he moves out, he's planning to move to another city here now that he's graduated and lives on his own. We would like to make the room more his brother's. You know, it's a room they share in our house, at their mom's house. They have their own room. They share at our house. And it would be really nice to separate and have my youngest stepson, it be more his room, right? And not quite so full of the older stepson stuff. So we're going to work on that as well, clearing out more stuff. Why keep it if you don't need it? And if he does need it, he does have another space where he can keep that stuff, or you might want to take it with him. So that is what I have been up to the last couple of weeks, and I will try hard to make sure I'm not missing a week in the future. Sorry about the video issue. And I'll actually be at training next week, so I do plan to do some videos talking about that. It'll be Faster EFT Level 2 practitioner training I'm going to, and I am hoping to do a video a day talking about my insights and sharing what I'm learning, what insights I'm having, and what maybe you could get out of faster EFT training as well. So check back at laurithayer.com and youtube.com/laurithayer for more information and more vlogs coming.